Hi everyone, this is Julie with Jules of Tyler. I hope you're all doing great today. Today I want to show you something that I had been doing for a little while but had forgotten about it. But with my new junk journal I remembered, so I put one in here, and I do want to show you how to do this. This is something that's pretty easy, and there's different ways that you can make this. I got my idea last year from Natasha with Treasure Books. And I'll link that video down below just in case you want to look at hers, or if you can't understand a word I'm saying today, maybe you can understand her. But I've got the directions all written out, and I'll let you take a screenshot at the end of that. But these are just these really cute pockets that you can glue on a page or Velcro on a page, or you can put it on the inside of one of your covers. And it's just going to show... be able to hold a bunch of ephemera. And those gussets, when they expand, they make quite a good folder there. And Natasha, she didn't have the closures because she faces hers another way. But because my journals are pretty thick, I thought that it was no way that I could face it the way that she wanted to and be able to stick my hand in there. So let me show you. Okay, she likes to have hers facing the inside so nothing falls out, which is quite right. But you know, when you got this bulk here, you have a hard time sticking your hand in here and grabbing what you need. So what I like to do is I want to stick mine on the outside, and because I stick mine on the outside, I have to put some kind of closure. I mean, you probably don't have to, but I don't know if anything's going to fall out, but just in case it would fall out. But that way I can stick my hand in here, no problem. And so it just opens up really good. So this is the one I have for the new journal that I'm working on the little golden book of hymns. And I have this just on the second signature on the very first page. I think it also looks good on this last page on the back cover. I've done that before, and of course it's real sturdy, so that's nice. But anyway, I'm going to show you how to make this. There's several different ways you can make these, and you can make these little, you know, you can make them big, just whatever, and you make them to fit whatever page. Okay, so if you have a little short page, you can make a little bitty pocket. If you have a big page, you can make a big one. So anything that's going to fit inside here so that you can't see it from the outside. So these right here, my closures, I have them with Velcro and I have them with magnets. And they're both fine. The easiest way definitely is Velcro, okay? It's very easy. You're just going to open right up. This one is... doesn't have, the scrapbook paper isn't double-sided, okay? So it doesn't matter. So it's just whatever you want to do on that. See, it looks fine and you're not going to see it. So if you don't have anything that's double-sided, you know, it's no big deal, okay? So these are double-sided, and I use 12 by 12. Really, 12 by 12 is better if you want a larger one. But if you just need a smaller one, you can use a digital paper. And you can either, you know, print on both sides of your digital paper or just one side on here. And what I like to do too is leave a little space on the page that you glue it on so that it'll be easier to open, so it won't be right down there at the bottom. If you can see, that's what I did on here. And this one has a magnet closure too. I just like to hear the little click. I think that's what my deal is. But anyway, that's all we have here. And if you want to do it her way, that's great. You don't have to put a closure on there, okay? So just whatever you feel comfortable with. And I think that before you get this all put together, if you want to sew on the outside before you glue all this, the gussets, I think you could go ahead and go to the sewing machine and glue this page. And if you just wanted to leave this inside your book or Velcro inside your book where you could take it out, you could decorate, you know, or sew on this side too. And I didn't decorate the outsides of anything. If you have plain paper, I think, you know, maybe you would need to do that to make it look a little bit better, but I think having a pattern is really nice. Now, the easiest way too is to have a pattern that's non-directional. You can turn it any way you want to, because it, you know, it makes it a little bit harder when you want to do this, because again, when you have your page, it's going to be up and down, okay? So you're going to make sure the pattern is going to be facing the right direction and going the right direction. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. So that's what you do for that. But if you want to play it safe, go with something, you know, pretty neutral and easy to do. So let's get started here. This is a 12 by 12, like I said, and this is double-sided. Okay. Okay, let me get my directions here. Okay, we're going to fold this in half, facing whatever direction you want. So I'm going to fold this up. Before I get my bone folder, make sure that's right. Get your bone folder if you have thick paper. And on this one, I would have made sure that it was facing the right way, okay? On this one, it does not matter. Okay, and then what I want to do is, I don't have a page picked out right now because this will go on another one, but what I would do is get my journal page and I would measure out to what I want. So this is just a golden book little template I've made here. And this way it makes it to where I can fit it in, and I know it's not going to be too big, okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut it to that height of whatever page. Okay. Let's see if I can make this dark enough so we can see. I'm going to go a little bit smaller just to make sure, because I don't know what page, but I'll have to pick a larger page since I'm doing this ahead of time. And then we're just going to cut this down. And you're going to hold on to this, okay? And if you don't want to use these as your gussets, you can use other papers to change up the paper, okay? You don't have to use this. Okay, the next thing to do is we're going to make these folds because we want stability, okay? And these little folds will help it to be nice and tight. And it's also going to, if you put a magnet in here, it's also going to cover up your magnet. Now, if you're going to put a magnet on the closure or on the tab, then you might need to make this little fold a little larger. Usually it's best to make it at least 1/2 inch, anywhere from 1/2 inch to 1 inch. And if you want me to, I will, I don't know what you might want me to do. Well, I can kind of show you both ways, because with the Velcro, because most likely you'll use the Velcro because it is easier, and you don't know if you have a magnet or not on that. So anyway, I'll do it that way. So what I'll do is this first fold, I'm going to come down and I'm going to make a score line 1 inch on both sides, okay? And this is the opposite end of your fold, okay? It's going to be right here at the top here. You can fold it by hand or get your little score pad out. And again, if you want it larger, you're not going to use a magnet, make it go down 1/2 inch. And you could go even a little bit less than that. So, but I'm going to do that and come down 1 inch. And you could do it 3/4 inch, it'd be fine. I did it with 1/2 inch, but it made it a little awkward. So I don't know if I want to do that again. So anyway, 3/4 inch I'm sure would be fine. Okay, got that done. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and fold this down. Okay. what we're going to do is I just folded inward, okay? This is going to be the inside of the folder. And what we need to do now is taper the sides, okay? And that way this will be able to close without any problem. So I'm just going to taper that a tiny bit. Boy, that 1 inch is a little large, so I'd probably go 3/4 of an inch, guys, if you're going to put the magnet in there. It's just that the last one I made, I wanted to make it the tab a little larger, and I couldn't because where the magnet was going to be located. Okay. And one other side here. Okay. Okay, got that. Now we're going to come over here to our little scraps that we have. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this in two. I'll just cut at the fold line that it was on. Okay. There we go. Put this around here. Okay, the thing that we're going to do next is we want this paper to fit inside of this, inside the little fold in the middle and under this flap, okay? And what that means is that you're going to have to come up just a tiny bit, because once you fold, because we're going to fold this several times here to make the gussets, and it's going to be a little wide, so we need this to close all the way. So what we'll do here is make a mark. I'm going to go up just a little bit from the fold line, make a mark. And you don't want to go up too high, because then you'll have this little space that you can see on the outside, okay? Let me see if I have anything like that. Well, maybe not. I thought I had, you can see a little bit of space down here. Okay, you can see it a little bit more on this one. See that little space? So if you do it too high, you're going to have a big gap here. So you just want a little gap. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and mark that. Make sure that is correct. And I'm going to cut there on that mark line. Okay, now I'm going to test it out just to see. Because we're going to line this at the top, that top fold, and it looks like it's going to close just fine, okay? And I'm going to make sure this works the same on this side in case I folded it cockeyed. So it looks good there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this exactly the same way. Make sure I didn't move that just then. Okay, looks good. And I'm not cutting anything except that one side off. I'm just leaving this to whatever size that my scrap was. If you want your gussets to be larger, then get a larger sheet of paper so you can do it that way, okay? All right, so again, we're gonna have it this way. So the first thing we're gonna do here is, okay, I'm going to show you here. This is just the way I do it. I have the same color on the outside of the gusset as on the outside of the folder, but you can switch this around and use the coordinated paper and have that on the outside, which I've seen, and it's cute that way, but I don't know if I've made any like that in the past. I probably have. I just can't remember right now. But what we'll do is just do this side, okay? Okay, make sure I got this the right way. Okay, the first thing you're gonna do here is you're gonna fold this the opposite side than what you want to show, okay? So this is going to be the inside showing. I'm going to fold that in half. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half again. So I'm going to lift that opening up and I'm going to bring it to this top fold, okay? Bring it all the way up here. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side, okay? Bring it up. It's really hard when my head's not over it. Okay, here we go. There it is. And it should be in a shape of a W or an M, but we'll say W, okay? And we're going to do the exact same thing on this side. Just make sure you're folding the right one. So you're going to come over here, fold it lengthways. First turn it over to the opposite side. Fold that in. Then we are going to fold it again. Okay. There we go. And last one here. Okay, let me flatten everything real good. And what we're going to do next is we are going to glue these on the inside here, okay? And what I want you to do is find that W and that little middle point. I want you to face that towards the inside of your folder, okay? Other side, you got your W. There's the point of your W. We're going to point it towards the inside, okay? And that is going to make that pattern be on the outside. And we're going to glue this next. And what we're going to do with that is I'm going to line it up pretty close to the top here, closer to the top than on the bottom, just to make sure I have enough room to close this. Just double check, but it should close just fine. I've had to taper some of these edges before too, if it didn't line up very well, but we'll see. We'll see on that. Okay, just get your good glue out. And I'm just going to glue this the same way so I don't forget and turn anything around, okay? Because that could happen. Okay, get on the other side here. Make sure. Oops. See, I already did that, didn't I? Okay. No, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, I do this better standing up. Okay, making sure I can close the top here. And I'm going to line this up as close as I can to the edge of this paper. And that way, you can't see it from the outside, but it's right there on the edge. And then it's up here close to the edge on top also, okay? And I'm just going to press down. Now I'm going to do the same to the other side. Got my W. I'm going to point it that way, which means I'm going to cover this with glue on this side. All right. I'm going to bring it closer to the top and bring it to the edge here. I'm just kind of scoot it down while the glue's still wet, where I can scoot down. Make sure I have enough room, because I'm going to put that flap down here in a minute. Oops. And I'm going to look here, and I can see that I can slide around and make that match up pretty good here to the edge. There we go. I'm just going to squeeze it down. And it should line up pretty well there. Okay. Okay, the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to fold this up, okay? Let's see, make sure I don't fold line up. I'm looking at my directions, okay. No, we're not going to do that yet. Glue down one side of the folder W, make sure line up on each side. So, now we're going to glue the other gusset down first, then do that. I'm sorry. See how much I can remember from 30 minutes ago. I practiced yesterday and today, and I still can't remember the directions. Unless I wrote my directions wrong. Oh, God. Yeah. I don't think so. That would be pretty crummy, wouldn't it? But I think either way will go. If not, shoot, I can undo it. Done it before. Okay. And I'm going to press this down so I can fold this pretty good. And I'm going to make sure that flap is up so I don't glue it down. And then I'm going to put this together like that. And it should be lined up really well. Once you get that first side down straight, the second one seems to always go down fine. I can see a little bit right there. Okay. Press it down real good. Okay. And what you'll do next is you're going to glue the flap down. And usually you're going to do both, but since I'm going to put that magnet down, I'm going to leave one of these sides up, okay? So I'm going to glue this real good. And get that open up pretty good. Okay. And then you're just going to press it down. And that flap just folds right on in there. Since we tapered the ends, it's a simple fit, okay? Now, if you're going to use Velcro, you would go ahead and fold this other side down and glue it. And if you wanted just to leave it like this, that is fine. But if you want to put a tab on there, let's see. Your tab needs to be in between 1 and 1/2 inch. I think this is like 1 1/4. Okay, this one's 1 1/4. And again, you can make this wide, skinny, whatever you want to do to it. But to me, this is the size I like right here. And what we're going to do here is we're going to fold it in half. Okay. And if we had the Velcro, what you would do here, oh, I didn't tell you about the height, okay? I have this, you can do like 2 to 3 inches. It just depends. I've had it to where I put something on it and decorated it and then, you know, cut it off a little bit to make it look centered and look a little bit better. But this one here is 2 3/4. So yeah, anywhere between 2 and 3 seems to look better. And then we got your little corner rounders, and you can leave this squared if you want. But I think it looks pretty cool if you round the corners. Better do it one at a time, no telling if it'll work. Okay. Then let's see here. You would find the middle. And you're just going to mark your middle so you'll have that, okay? And if you were doing the Velcro, you would glue this to the back side in the center, the part right in the center where you just marked it. And I'm going to leave a little space between this fold and the tabs fold because it might get a little bulky and you want to make sure that's not too tight. You want it to stick up. Have a little bit of a space right here, okay? And so what you would do is just glue the back side, and then you just get your Velcro. And when you get your Velcro out, just go ahead and put both sides together so that it's sticky on both sides and it's already put together. And you're just going to put it on the inside here and then press it down, okay? And then that way it'll just open and close with the Velcro, and it just, like I said, it's so much easier than the magnet. But I'll show you how to do the magnet. And then you can decorate this as you want to and put something. I've got these little brads that I'm going to put in the middle. You know, just little things like that you want to put on there. And again, you can put some rickrack on here, some ribbon or some, you know, ephemera, just whatever you want to do on that, okay? But I like doing the contrasting colors on here. I think it looks pretty cool that way. Okay, let's try the magnets, okay? Okay, and again, if you have the magnets, just have it at least 3/4 of an inch of a flap on here, and don't put down one of the flaps yet. And I guess it just depends on which side you're going to put on the paper, which side you're going to do this on, because you want this to be on the outside so you can easily put all your goodies on that side, okay? So it'll be easy to do. Okay, we're going to make our tab, which we have already done. Now we're going to come to the unglued side here, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm still going to glue this on the back, okay? And I'm still going to leave that little bit of a space between the fold on this and the fold on the top of the folder. Let's see if I can get this in the center here. Okay. I'm just going to keep on bringing it down a little bit. Yeah, come on, baby. You act like you don't want to go, but that's good. Okay, just as it has a little bit. Okay, hopefully you can see that's just a little bit of a gap. Okay, yeah, there we go. It's kind of hard to point it straight when your camera's way up there. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is you're going to get your magnets and okay. I put mine on the scissors so I wouldn't lose them. The first magnet that you're going to put down is going to be the one on the inside of the flap, okay? And it just depends on where you're going to put it. Okay, I have a good things there. Okay, and just make sure you do the correct side. I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac. It's still a little, oh, come on. It's still a little slippery with the Fabri-Tac, but it does glue real well. Okay. So I'm going to kind of glue this closer here at the top. Okay, I think that'll be good. Oop, looks like it needs to go over just a little bit. You kind of just look at it and see. Okay. Let me get a paper towel and get up some of that. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and glue our flap onto the inside here, okay? So you can use whatever kind of glue again. I'll just put a little bit more of this on there. And go ahead and glue this all the way. And these magnets I got on, I think, Amazon. It's been probably 10 years ago, but they have them. These are just little bitty ones, just real flat ones. Okay, now I'm going to try to spread this out to where I don't get glue all over the place. Get in there. Okay, other side. Okay. And I feel my magnet still in there. Hopefully it's in a good place. Let me get this and see where we're at. Okay. It still looks like it's lined up pretty good. And that's what I want, okay? And just get your bone folder and flatten out a little bit. Okay. And the next thing we're going to do here is I have a little decoration, and what this is going to do, it is going to go on the bottom of my decoration. So whatever you want to put right there is just going to hide it, okay? Okay. And I'll just glue that booger down. And of course, the magnet will find the other magnet. Just kind of clean it up a little bit. And go ahead and put this on here too. I'm going to glue this down. Oh, and it's going to stick to my fingers. Y'all ever get all this glue all over your fingers and it's just like you got some kind of weird thing going on? Like, what was it, that creature from the Black Lagoon, or one of those creatures, and they had all that skin falling off of them? It's kind of what you feel like when you're dealing with all these glues. Okay, and then the last thing I wanted to do is I thought I would dress that flower up a little bit. Okay, get on there good. Okay. And I'm going to put one of these little fake brads. It's called Adhesive Brads by Echo Park. And I was thinking the one with the flowers would look best. It feels pretty sticky, so I will try that. Ooh, I think that was upside down, but now we are good. Of course, I guess if I'm having it turned, well, it doesn't matter. Ooh, the flower's still moving around just a tiny bit. You just got to let it dry. Okay. All right. See? Isn't that neat? So all your goodies will stay inside here. And again, you can put them on the edge right here. And then if you turn your book in any way, nothing's going to fall out, okay? So that's all there is to that. And I'll let you see the directions here. It's really easy. It's just hard to explain how to do it. But I think once you make a copy of this, that'll be really easy for you, okay? Let's see if I have enough space here. Okay. There you go, guys. Can you see it? Hopefully you can do a screenshot of that and then you can enlarge it. But there's the part about the magnet is right here. And this is for the original, for the Velcro. And then I did highlight this little part right there that says If you want to use a magnet, maybe go one inch. But remember, 3/4 inch looks pretty good too. And I did do the others 1/2 inch, and it did work. Well, if I can find the top of it. And it did work fine. I just had to fit it underneath there. So it just made it a little bit harder. And my magnet's up a little higher, but you can't tell because of my decoration, so really it's okay. So that's all there is to that, guys. So y'all just let me know if you have any questions, and I hope I made halfway sense on this. Let's see. Try to get that all in there, and then one more here at the end so you can get a good look at it. And oop, that one's turned the other way. Okay, that is it. So anyway, y'all guys, try this out. Please let me know how you do on that. And again, let me know if you have any questions. And remember, the magnets are on Amazon. They're probably at all those other little Temus and whatever, those little cheap stores too. But that's it. So y'all guys have a good rest of the day. It's still early. What, 2:38? Oh, I'm a day early too. So I'm not sure if I'm going to put this out today or tomorrow. I think I'll probably put it out tomorrow because I've been trying to put it out on Thursday. So anyway, this is Wednesday. So I hope y'all guys have a good Thursday. And I'll talk to y'all guys later. And you can always email me also if you have any questions. Talk to y'all guys later. Bye.